Nimwits and Nimrods, my name is Bradley Rotten, and I tell it like I smell it. And I smell Mitch, please.
It's just a silly man trying to understand who the fuck I am on this US land. I let my hair grow, then I cut it off, put a couple lines in it, cause you know I'm never coming soft. I do a lot of shows and I get a lot of stares. I got a lot of haters, but really who cares?
Welcome to episode 17 of Mitch, Please. Thank you very much for giving us a click. And breaking news here, I survived my surgery. I know you guys have been losing sleep over it. You've been worried. No, in all seriousness, thank you to everybody for the prayers and the messages and the comments. You know, that surgery was something that I was worried about, as you heard on the last episode of Mitch, Please. If you haven't heard that one, go give it a listen. Of course, Bradley Rotten. Again, thank you to him for not only the intro of this episode, but for his interview and his musical performance on episode 16 of Mitch, Please. But this is episode 17 of Mitch, Please, and I'm giving you guys an update. It's been 5 weeks almost since the surgery, to the day almost, and as I record this, and my shoulder still hurts, man. It was a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. A lot worse. I didn't expect them to be putting metal into my shoulder, but that's what they had to do. You've probably seen the picture if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook. You know, it's a scary thing. But I feel like hopefully I'm going to be better than ever once this is all said and done. You know, once this is all over with, I'll be better. It's going to take a while, 3 to 6 months before I'm going to be back to normal. So, like, long road ahead, but I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm looking forward to getting better. Still struggling with the diet. Still trying to exercise the best I can and do what I can. Right now, I've just been riding the bike. That's all I can do. It's killing me. But I survived, guys, and thank you again to everybody that gave a shit. All right. So this week, guys, is exciting. It's an exciting episode. It's actually an inspirational episode. We've got Eve Hamilton and Nick Stiles, who are a couple. Basically, they performed in the Chico comedy scene. They're entrepreneurs. They've got a lot of stuff going on. Shows. They've got a business going on called Gnarly Deli, where they serve these just kind of different kind of foods that, you know, from what I hear, are absolutely delicious. And we're going to get into all of that here shortly on Mitch, Please, episode 17, if I haven't said it enough times. And I hope you guys all are out there spreading the word about this, you know, following on all the social media, you know, of course, at Heartbreaker MV on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. You know, of course, we have the Mitch Please Facebook page going on. Please like it, share it, and invite your friends to do so. And then, of course, you know, I'm Mitch Valentine on Facebook, guys. I respond to any and all messages, feedback, questions. Send them to me. I will answer them. I'll answer them on the show, or I'll just answer them, you know, right away, or as soon as I get them. You know, I really appreciate people that support what I'm doing and that listen to my show. So you better believe it. Now, later on the show, I'm going to talk about some wrestling, what I've been doing in the wrestling world. I'm going to go ahead and save that for the end of the show, and what I will be doing here going forward. I got some upcoming dates to announce, and some funny stories for you guys. But speaking of funny stories, we're going to go ahead and cut over right now to Eve Hamilton and Nick Stiles. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this, and let's get right to it. We are sipping freshly squeezed apple juice at this beautiful table here in Chico, California. I'm sitting here with two people that I'm going to interview at the same time for the second time only in the history of Mitch. Please, guys, we're making history here. I'd like to introduce my guests this week. We've got Nick Stiles, also known as Hank Duke. We've got Eve Hamilton, also known as EVE. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mitch. Please.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, guys, no, seriously, thank you guys for doing this. This is going to be an interesting episode. Like I said, I've only done two people at the same time once before on the show. It was episode 10, The Classic Connection. So here we are, episode 17. I can't believe it's made it this far. I've got two people here that I just really, I really enjoy as people. You guys are cool-ass people. I want to know your guys' story. So, Nick Stiles, Hank Duke, I'm going to start with you, man. What was life like growing up, and where did you grow up?
Near Monterey, mostly. I had a single mom, and she always told me I could do whatever I want, and she's just too supportive.
Yeah, me too, bro. I had a single mom as well growing up. So, what was that like, bro, not having a dad, man?
Well, he was far away. He was around, but didn't see him too often. Yeah, I don't know. I think the comedy thing came out later, but I've always done some silly stuff along the way.
So you grew up in Monterey, and then how about you, Eve? Where did you grow up at?
I grew up here in Chico.
Okay, so you're a local.
Local.
Been here for a while, and you guys met through the Chico comedy scene, and we definitely want to get to that. Before we get to that, though, I'll go back to you, Nick. What were some of your influences growing up? Like, who were some of your favorite entertainers, people that inspired you?
Chris Farley.
Nice.
Andy Kaufman.
Nice. 2 for 2 right now. You're 2 for 2, Nick.
Oh, man. I can't think of a third one.
Hey, that's good to quit at 2 for 2. No, that's too great. Obviously, man, great entertainers. And so comedy, I mean, hit you at a young age. I mean, you kind of started really enjoying people that made you laugh. And did you like to make people laugh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm an only child, too, so I've always been entertaining myself.
Yep. Any way
I can.
Only child here, too, man. Only child, single mom. Yeah, man, I totally feel you. How old are you?
30.
30, okay. I'm 29 in a couple weeks.
Just you wait.
Yeah, I'm terrified, dude. I'm not going to lie. So, okay, man. So, Chris Farley and Kaufman, yes, of course. And the intergender champion of the world.
Yeah.
And he's still alive, right?
No.
I heard he's still alive, man. Him and Elvis and Tupac are chilling.
Yeah, maybe as Tony Clifton, he may live on.
All right. And Eve, how about you? Who are some of the, entertainers or, celebrities or just people in general that, like, you were influenced by growing up?
Probably the entire cast of the Looney Tunes. I don't know. I grew up... my mom was also a single mom, but I grew up spending most of my time with my grandparents also. And my grandpa's got a pretty hokey sense of humor, so a lot of Bullwinkle cartoons, a lot of Red Skelton. My grandma also loved Bill Cosby, but she got to pass away before his awful scandal came to light, so she didn't have to know.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that's, we could take the conversation in a totally different direction with that. But, so as you got older, Eve, like, teenage years, high school years, I mean, what were some of the things that you maybe were pursuing, and how did it relate to what you're pursuing now?
Well, I always was very social, and so I love getting out there, and, I always like to sing and do like plays and things in high school, so that didn't change a whole lot from now, like, except for I just kind of do my own thing. I always march to the beat of my own drum, as my mom might say.
I got you. And then, something I didn't know, I met you, let's think about this. I met you in like November or October of 2015 at the Studio Inn, and I watched you perform And I said, man, this girl kind of has something. I've never seen her perform before. And I'd been to about 10 or 15 shows, open mics in Chico, and I'd never seen you. So I saw you that night. So I think I was booking a show in Paradise at the Cantina. I said, I think I could see her performing well in that environment. So do you remember we talked at that table? I introduced myself to you, and then we talked about the Cantina show. What are your first memories of meeting the host of Mitch, Please here? I gotta hear it.
Oh, Mitch,
and be honest.
Mitch, please. Well, let's see. I already knew a little bit about you because we had some mutual friends, since I'm the local and all. And I was super stoked. That was my first show that I ever booked. And so, and it was unfortunately the last show before the Cantina shut down.
It literally shut down like a month and a half after that show.
So sad. Yeah.
What are your memories of that show? We're going to get back here to Nick, and I want to talk more about your younger years, although you're not saying you're old. But no, I want to just, about this Cantina show, I just want to get this out of the way here. What were your impressions, and how did you feel performing with that microphone from 1945 in Paradise, California at the Cantina, the last ever comedy at the Cantina?
Oh man, I felt luckier than if I were performing with Mike from 1928 up in Magalia. It was I'd never been there before. It was kind of a weird shaped bar, and so my first impression was like, really, are you kidding me with this? Mitch, please. And
the sound, do you remember? I think it was the show. I didn't have the cord for the amp, so I were like the half hour before the show starts. I don't have the cord, and it was a decently packed house that night, which was pretty rare. But so I mean, I literally a customer picked me up. We went to my friend's house to pick up a cord to drive back. I plugged it in at 8:28. We went live at 8:30, and it screwed up right away. It was just, oh gosh, it was, for me, I had some disastrous performances in Paradise, disastrous performances in many places, but no, for you, I thought you did a great job. I think I had you open the show.
I think so, yeah.
And you did a great job, even. You always do a great job. But going back to high school, I wanted to talk about something I learned recently. A lot of people might not know this. I kind of want to hear this from you. MWF in Chico, was it in your high school years? I mean, you went to the shows, or I know we have some mutual friends that were involved with MWF in Chico, and I think a lot of my listeners would like to hear your version or your views on MWF.
Well, let's remind everyone, what does NWF stand for?
So MWF was Main Event Wrestling Federation. It was basically started by Brian Cage, who is now doing huge things in wrestling. Lucha Underground, tours of Mexico, tours of Japan. Mm-hmm. Guys doing big things. I had an opportunity to be in the ring with him myself, train with him, wrestle him. Great guy.
Yeah.
Great wrestler. So he had his own thing going on, MWF in Chico. I never went to a show. I have no idea how long I think it was 04 to 06. I think it was like a 2-year deal. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Yeah. But what were your, what was your opinion of the whole thing? Or how many shows did you go to?
I went to like a good handful. Ginger Daniels was hanging out at those shows too, and he told me about it. And I was never really into wrestling, but...
So you were basically just dragged by Ginger Daniels to these events. Okay.
Kind of, but and we had friends doing it, and I just couldn't believe what I saw them do. Like, they literally set up a wrestling ring in the middle of what was then the Veterans Hall, right, on the Esplanade, and it's like... You had this feeling of you were in a high school gym with a wrestling ring, and everybody had their characters, and it was great. Like, I never thought, that it was really boring to watch on TV and dumb, but like when it's your friends making asses of themselves, it's great. And, it's like what we see at the open mics every week.
Right. I could see the comparisons there with MWF. And going back to you, Nick, so at an early age, man, and we'll get back to this. Is hard, guys, because I'm doing both of you at the same time. I got to show attention to both of you. I don't want to make the other
threesome.
I don't want to make the other one jealous, but like Nick, what were some of your like early dreams or early ideas of what you want to do with your life, man?
When I was 15, I started teaching ballroom dance.
Nice.
And I can still do that, but I don't do it professionally. anymore. But I taught for many years, and for a long time I thought I would open my own dance studio and have like a place for not just dancing but like concerts and stuff, and it would maybe have a bar and things like that, and maybe food. And now the idea has like evolved even more than that. But yeah, I thought I was gonna like own a dance studio for the longest time.
That's cool though, man. I mean, I haven't seen your moves. I think I might have seen them one night at an open mic, but I've heard some stuff about your dance moves, man. So, or actually not your dance move. Hank Duke actually is the dancer. Is that right?
Well,
and the singer and the guitar player.
sure, that's true. Hank likes to have a good time. So do I. But I mean, that's the side of me that I can just channel all that energy into that character. And then, Hank doesn't really do ballroom dancing. He just kind of like soft shoes and bebops around.
When did you develop this Hank Duke character, and how did you develop it?
It was about a year and a half ago or something like that. I was down in Monterey visiting some friends. We had a bonfire on the beach, and I ate a large psychedelic mushroom, and the following week I started writing all this like country music, and it was just coming out of me. I don't know why. I don't listen to country music. I don't, like a little bit of like kind of old style country, like bluegrassy stuff, like I don't know, Johnny Cash and Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs and stuff like that. But this was like, yeah, it was like the Hank Duke songs started coming out, and I was like, I can't just like be myself and I can't just go into an accent. Like suddenly, why is this fucking douchebag, using like a southern accent?
No, I'll tell you what, bringing a little full circle here, because like I said with Eve, the first night I met you was also at the Studio Inn, and you were dressed in your gimmick, you had your tight jeans and your button-up shirt and your cowboy hat, and I was like, who is this guy? I'd never seen you before. I was like, who's this guy? What's he going to do? And I think you were in character even before you went on stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, is this guy for real? Like, I didn't know what was going on. So then I watched you perform, and it was the first or second time I watched you perform. You did the Taco Bell song, and Hank Duke did the Taco Bell song, and I was in tears laughing. I was Snapchatting at Heartbreaker MV, by the way, and we'll get to what is your Snapchat, by the way?
I can't remember.
It's like at Styles, something with a P.
It's Styles Ops 4, Styles OPS 4.
This guy
Snap me.
This guy's always snapping me just weird random stuff, especially on Tuesdays. I get a lot of Snapchat action on Tuesdays. But I remember Snapchatting. I really enjoyed what you did. I thought it was something different that not a lot of people in the Chico comedy scene were doing, and I thought it was really good, man. And I think you continue to evolve the character and do different things, and you've done comedy here in Chico as Nick Stiles. So we want to get to all that. Going back here to Eve, what were some of your dreams like, Eve? Like, what did you see yourself doing, when you grew up?
I don't know. I never really decided, and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. In high school, I did a lot of improv and stuff with the drama club and that sort of thing, and it's kind of funny now because we have the Cousin Cephus improv group that Nick and I are both a part of, and so I mean, back in the day, I mean, like. Maybe SNL if I was really like shooting for the stars.
So I mean, you wanted to be an actress, a performer, a comedian.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I can tell you're a natural performer, both you guys. I mean, this is why you're on this show. I mean, I'm not trying to like blow smoke or anything or toot my own horn, but it's like I literally only want people on this show that I think are like driven and they want something and they have like potential and talent to be something if they're not already, which you guys are already very talented performers and people. So, and this is fun times here having you guys both on the show. I want to talk about how you guys met, because like you said, you've developed this Hank Duke character pretty recently. You got involved in the Chico comedy scene, Eve, pretty recently. So I'll start with you, Nick Stiles, Hank Duke. How did you meet Eve?
Eve had a little old crush on Hank, and like you, she didn't know for sure if Hank was a real person or a character or what. But yeah, she had a boyfriend at the time.
Uh-oh.
And when they broke up a couple weeks later, we, I don't know, just kind of, made out.
So just like I met Eve at the studio, I met you at the studio, I'm assuming, did you guys also, Eve, meet at the Studio Inn?
Well, I met Hank, maybe, I don't remember if it was at the Maltese or the Studio Inn, but when I met Nick, I'll never forget, I was at my second showcase at the 1078 Gallery, and he was working there, and I bought a beer from him, and he said, "Oh, here you go, Eve." And I look at him, and I was like, that's weird, he knows who I am. And then I had to go Facebook stalk him to figure out that he was actually Hank Duke, and that's why I recognized him.
So wait a second, so you had performed open mics with Hank Duke.
Yeah.
And then you're at the 1078 performing your comedy, and Nick Stiles is a bartender?
I was volunteering, so yeah, I was serving beer and taking tickets.
And Eve, you didn't know it was the same performer that you'd seen at the open mics previous?
No. I couldn't tell why I recognized him, so I had to go Facebook stalk him to figure it out.
Now, I'm going to get personal here and tell me if I'm going too far. Did you don't have to answer this, but I think inquiring minds want to know, because Hank said you guys made out. Did you make out with Hank Duke before you met Nick Stiles? I got to know.
I did not make out with Hank Duke. I knew who he was when I made out with Nick Stiles.
All right.
So making out with Hank Duke is pretty hot too.
I can imagine. Okay, guys. So you guys, how long ago was this, Eve?
When I realized it was him, it was what, like a year?
A year into the relationship?
No. We've been together though since it's been since the end of April.
Okay, so yeah. So 7-8 months since you guys have met. And then you guys are a couple. I think everybody's pretty aware of that. We're not dropping breaking news here on Mitch, please. Okay, cool. So and that's tough, because you guys are both kind of have a lot. It's tough, but it sounds like it would be really enjoyable because you guys both have a lot of the same aspirations and goals, and you guys are involved in a lot of the same things. I'll ask you, Nick. Is it difficult being in a relationship with a fellow aspiring performer?
No, it's nice. We both just like entertaining people and having fun, and that's why we get along so well. We haven't had a fight or a disagreement of any sort, I don't think.
Ever? In 8 months? Come on.
Oh, no.
Wow, I'm blown. I don't know what to do.
He's extremely patient. I'll admit that. He's extremely patient.
That's the key, man. Yeah, I've just recently figured out, you just basically have to say, all right, you just got to give up and just say she's in charge of everything, and I'm just going to kind of squeeze in and do whatever,
He did that right away, so.
Oh, man. So, all right, guys. So, what, for you, Eve, I'll ask you this question. What are some of your favorite performances that you've been a part of? Some of your favorite personal performances, and when and where were they?
Well, besides the Cantina of Paradise that Mitch booked me for, which was a great experience, I loved that show. I think my favorite part was the little mini mic stand that had to sit on the table.
So bad.
But the Cousin Cephus show was the best. It was so great. We had our Cousin Cephus Improv Project is the name of our group. There's 6 of us. It's me and Nick and Jason Allen, Annie Fisher, Chaz Kelly, and Drew McGillicuddy. and we've been together for about a year, and we had our first show on October 15th or something like that at the Women's Club, Chico Women's Club.
Yeah, I want to hear about that because I wanted to go so bad, guys. I really did. I was talking to Jason about getting a ticket, and I wanted to go because I was really interested in seeing you guys perform. How did that first show go? Eve, I'll stick with you here. How was that first event? I know you were getting into it, but...
Oh, it was great. I mean, we had a pretty full house. We had sold a lot of tickets, and we had some issues with the sound, but we improvised because that's what we do, and it was great. We got a great review in the News and Review afterwards too, and we're hoping to put on another show here maybe February. We want to try to do them quarterly at least. Mm-hmm. We couldn't have asked for it to really go any better, aside from, little technical difficulties here and there with the sound.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
But the room was nice.
Yeah. So Nick, how would you describe the Cousin Cephus Project, man? How would you describe that experience?
It's been great, it's improv, but when we practice together a lot, and it's not like you can't rehearse your lines or anything because it's improv. But after doing it for so long with pretty much the same group, I mean, there have been a few people who kind of come and gone, and it's hard to get everyone together at once, but sometimes we'll do a smaller group meeting and do some practice. But we really form a bond, and you get to learn like which lines you can cross with which people. Like, I would kiss Jason Allen or Chaz Kelly on the mouth if a scene called for it. I would for the laughs, I would do it, and it would be comfortable. It'd be funny.
I gotta share this with you, man. I've never shared this on Mitch Please before. I've told very few people this. People that came to the theater on the Ridge in Paradise and saw Leading Ladies, the production, that play. I had to kiss a guy. And the deal was he was supposed to be, he was dressed up like a girl. I didn't know he was a guy, so my character didn't know he was a guy. So I damn sure knew. And I was terrified, dude. I couldn't do it. Like, I just can't do it. He's like an old dude. He's like 55. Great guy. Great guy. Chris Jones, actually. No, sorry to call him old, but he's an older gentleman. He's been in theater forever. So he was like, no, it's no big deal. I'm like, dude, no, this is a big deal, dude. Like, I've never kissed a dude. Like, I don't think I can do this. And I did end up kissing him probably like 20 times, like straight up, including rehearsals and performance. I mean, it might have been 30 times straight up kissed a dude on the mouth. Closed mouth, though, right? Were you closed mouth, open mouth? Describe the kiss with Jason Allen.
No, I sometimes just kind of nuzzle him on his neck, whisper sweet nothings into his ear, that kind of thing.
Nice. No, Jason Allen is awesome. I've wanted to get him on the show. We will get him on this show down the line. He's helped with this show. I think I broke his laptop putting the show together, to be honest. I don't know, but I feel bad. But no, Jason is awesome. You guys, Cousin Cephus Project, you guys have a page on Facebook.
Yeah, it's the Cousin Cephus Improv Project. Cephus is spelled Cephus.
Now, is there any videos on YouTube or anything, or are you guys keeping it pretty, limited as far as the content you guys are releasing?
We try to keep it pretty limited. We've talked about that, and, since we're only doing quarterly shows, we really want to kind of keep whatever the good stuff is for special occasions, if you will. No,
definitely. Make it special. And you said sometime in February when we have the date, we'll definitely be promoting it on this show. Yeah. And I'm going to be there, darn it. Unless I have something else going on, I'm going to freaking be there. I'm going to scream. I mean, the audience is very interactive with the audience is what you guys are doing, basically, right? I don't think I've been to an improv event or like a show, So, like, would you describe it pretty interactive, or how would you describe
very interactive? Sorry, very, very interactive. The audience, we always get suggestions from. We had them pick out Cards Against Humanity cards as suggestion cards before. We have people write stuff down for our suggestions too. So yeah, it turns out to be very audience-heavy participation.
It sounds fun, seriously. And another thing you guys have going on, you were trying to convert me over here to these Thai wieners. They're sitting here at the table right here. I mean, they look healthy. They look delicious. I mean, what's going on with these wieners, Nick Stiles? Tell me about the wieners.
It was an experiment I made this afternoon for our new business called Gnarly Deli. And I used I made a few different variations of the same thing, but it's basically like a Thai peanut hot dog with, it's like a hot dog with cucumber and carrot and red bell pepper and cilantro and peanut sauce and chopped up peanuts. I thought it was pretty good. It needs something else, but, that's why I'm experimenting with it.
Sriracha ranch. That's what I would say. Sriracha ranch always helps. Yeah. No, that's cool, man. So you guys are doing. You guys are performers now. You guys are vendors. You have a food that you're selling. I mean, basically, is that what you're selling? Is different types of wieners, or what else? What exactly type of food business would you consider yourself? And how can people try your food?
Well, it's called Gnarly Deli. And you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the stuff. And we've got some we've got, exciting hot dog variations and different sandwiches. And I'm just trying to offer kind of weird things that you can't get anywhere else in town. Like if you want just a regular good old-fashioned ham and cheese sandwich, you go to Spiteri's or something like that. But I'm not really offering that. I'm offering weird things where you might put potato chips on the sandwich, or I don't know.
Yeah, Doritos. I like Doritos on a sandwich.
Yeah.
Tell them about the Crusty Cristo.
You tell.
Oh.
The Crusty Cristo.
Crusty Cristo is only ham and turkey and Swiss with raspberry jam on a glazed donut.
Gosh, you guys have got some interesting food combinations. So you guys have a Facebook page, Gnarly Deli, and that's GNARLY Deli, DELI. Hope everyone can spell deli.
Yep.
And that's awesome, guys. So you guys are doing a lot. You got your hands in a lot of pots. When is your guys' next comedic performance? Eve, I'll start with you.
Well, we have December 11th coming up at the Maltese. That's a Sunday. Is the Hank Duke's Good Time Variety Hour Holiday Special, or HDGTVHHS for short.
The Hank Duke Holiday Variety Special at the Maltese going on December 11th. Hank Duke, I think he's actually, I just saw him over by the refrigerator. Hank Duke, can you come over here for a second? Can you tell us about the Hank Duke Variety Show going on December 11th?
How y'all doing tonight? It's good to be here. We got this Good Time Variety Hour coming down the pipes here. We did one already. It was a grand old time. We had a good time. There was very little swearing going on. And, you could bring your mama. There's lots of entertainment for everyone. We had, at the last one, we had sock puppets. We had music. We had my friend who does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tried to take me down. And he was successful, actually. He didn't just try. He succeeded. And throat singing. I'm not going to reveal what's going to be in the holiday special. But
Throat what?
Throat singing, like Mongolian throat singing.
Mongolian throat singing. I've never heard of this, Hank.
Yeah, it was. I tried to mimic it. It sounds very. I came out trying to jam with my friend Grant, who's doing it, and I tried something like her, and it wasn't quite. It didn't quite stack up to what he was doing.
Grant kind of makes his voice sound like a didgeridoo, if you can visualize.
A didgeridoo?
Yeah, like the Australian instrument, the didgeridoo.
I'm unfamiliar with the Australian instrument, the didgeridoo.
You'll have to Google it.
Googs it. Googs it. All right, Hank, I got a couple questions for you, Eve, if you don't mind. We got Hank here. Hank, now, what's your favorite song that you perform?
Well, that's a tough one. I think my favorite one might be The Dust, because it's kind of a depressing song, but it takes you through different emotions. What I'm always trying to do is just try to make people think and feel different things and stuff.
That's awesome, bro. I mean, hey, you think maybe later on the show we could hear that song?
It could be. It's possible, yeah.
All right. Now, what Hank Duke? I mean, you're an interesting guy. You're an interesting character. I think everyone, a lot of people talk about your dancing. We were just talking about it earlier on this show. I mean, you're a heck of a dancer, man. I mean, how did you become such a great dancer?
Well, just entertaining myself, and the family. Me, myself, and I. Just you gotta get your jimmies out every now and then, and dancing's a great way to do that.
You gotta get your jimmies out. You should get a shirt that says that, Hank Duke. Is there Hank Duke merchandise? Because there needs to be.
I do have merchandise. They're one-of-a-kind t-shirts that I personally found at the thrift store and wrote stuff on them. So
custom.
They're custom merchandise. They're one of a kind, like I said, because I wouldn't know where to get another one. I found a Nike shirt that says it's a purple shirt. It says "Need for Speed" on it. I crossed out the S and the P, and I put a W, so it says "Need for Weed" instead of "Need for Speed."
Oh, I mean, that's genius. And I mean, I definitely. Do you have any of those available, or are they sold out?
Well, that's the only one I got of that one, but I do have that still in my possession.
Double XL?
No, that's a little bit smaller one. I'm trying to think of one that might fit you.
Dude, I went from a L to X. From a large/extra large to a double X this last year, man. I got big. Nothing fits me, man. It's been tough, but man, Hank Duke, though, my goodness, a legend without a doubt. I think it's going to be a name that a lot of people are going to be. They're gonna know. I think people are gonna know about Hank Duke now. Hank Duke, as far as your social media, man, Instagram, YouTube, what do you have going on?
Let's see. There's a couple videos of me on YouTube somewhere, but I don't really like the videos to get out. I don't really record my songs with all this downloading and nonsense. If you hear a song once, you heard it 1,000 times, I say. And I don't claim to be any kind of high and mighty composer or anything. It's not like I'm writing, masterpieces over here. But I do have a Facebook page. You can follow me on there. And yeah, we got our variety hour coming up on December 11th. Should be a good time.
How much are tickets? Where can people get the tickets?
No tickets, because it's free.
Oh, man. You can't beat that. 21 and older, obviously, and free at the Maltese, December 11th. What time?
9 to 10.
9 to 10. Check that out. I'm sure there's an event page on Facebook. And Hank Duke is on Facebook. Are you on Twitter?
Nah,
no tweeting going on for Hank Duke. Well, Hank, thanks for stopping by, man. If you can go grab Nick for me, I'd really appreciate it. And thanks again for coming by and sharing some stories with us.
No problem, Buster.
All right, and Hank Duke, ladies and gentlemen, and wrapping up here, guys. We have a lot to talk about, and I definitely want to get you back on the show, Eve, and Nick, if I can get you back in here for a minute, man. Eve's got a T-shirt she's holding up right now. It's got 3 puppies on it. It says Triple Play 3-Way.
This is one of Hank Duke's merchandise for sale.
I like it.
This is also for sale.
We've got a I Love Cougars 42.
Yep.
Of course, the I Love was drawn on there. Classic Hank Duke merchandise here.
A couple.
And will those be for sale on December 11th? Is it a week from Saturday?
It's a week from Sunday.
Okay, gotcha. A week from this Sunday. So
so about 2 weeks from now.
So make sure to check that out, guys. Like I said, event page on Facebook, the Maltese, right there, 14th and Park. in 16th and Park in Chico. I don't know what I'm thinking there. Hank Duke threw me all off, but and that T-shirt is awesome. I like that.
I think that's the mattress store at 14th and Park.
Yeah. Well, hey, I hear they have a good mattress, but no, that's awesome though. Eve, that you guys are, you and Nick here are so involved. You guys are involved, and you guys are pursuing the dream. Really, you guys are going after it. I mean, is there any other Facebook pages we can share? I want to get all your guys' social media where people can find out about you guys. Eve, I'll start with you. Where can people find out more about Eve Hamilton or EVE?
Yeah, EVE has a Facebook page. It's E-V-E or at eve.chicocomedy. I have a Twitter at EV2Wonder. That's EVIE, the number 2 Wonder. And I'm on Instagram with those names too. So Gnarly Deli has a Facebook page that we will, every time we're out somewhere, we will let you guys know. So please, please, please like us. And if you are currently working in a food desert and have nowhere to eat and you're desperate for a new lunch, please let us know. We would love to come and provide everybody there with yummy sandwiches. I think we're going to be at Lulu's at the end of this week, possibly at Inlo, and popping up at a few other places too. So
that's awesome. And Eve Hamilton on Facebook. Go ahead and you add basically anybody, right? That's what I hear.
If you're just anybody, I don't know. Like, we have to have at least 32 mutual friends for me to add you. But yeah, you can find me there too.
Give it a shot, guys. And Nick Stiles on Facebook, Stiles. And Nick, what about for you, man? You got a Twitter? I mean, anything else you'd like to plug for the people out there?
No, I think Eve covered it. We've got a lot of stuff going on. It's very exciting. I can feel it in the air. There's something in the air, dude.
Something in the air, guys.
We're always looking for performers also who want to be a part of our variety hour. So please come check it out on December 11th if you're interested in possibly being a performer in the future, because this show is going to go on like every 6 weeks or so. And it's been a lot of fun so far, and I think a lot of people in town are really talented, and a lot of people in town just don't have a place to go for it. So yeah.
Opportunity is knocking. All you gotta do is answer the door, it sounds like. Eve Hamilton, Nick Stiles, thank you guys very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us, Mitch.
Thank you, Mitch. We love you.
Yes.
Do ya? Well, apparently they do, and I really, really, really appreciate Eve Hamilton and Nick Stiles for coming on the show this week, guys. Make sure you check them out. Go to that show on December 11th, and follow Eve and Nick on all their social media. They're really, really great people. They're great performers, and can't say enough great things about them. I can look forward to having them back on the show and seeing them around, and perhaps working with them in the future on projects and things I can't talk about right now. So don't try to get it out of me, because I ain't talking. There is a lot of things going on in the future, guys. I'm really excited about a lot of things. I've been, sitting back for 5 weeks, and figuring it all out. Really discovering a lot about myself, entering a new relationship with a wonderful woman that I've cared about for years, and we're finally going to try to be serious with this, and it's going to be very difficult for me. I've had a lot of rough relationships in the past. Some of them are very well documented, but anyways, so a lot of things are going on. I told you guys I had a funny story for you, and here's the funny story. Myself, Cupid Mikey Shoop, Kimmy, and Patrick Abbott, we were able to work with Mikey Gordon once again in Fist Combat, and this was back on, I want to say like November 5th, I believe, yeah. So we drove down there, And I was, of course, I was a driver, and I just got out of surgery about a week prior. So I'm driving, fresh out of surgery. I got Cupid Mikey Shoop in the front seat, holding the ice pack on my shoulder. I got Pat and Kimmy in the back seat, the Pokemon lovers, in the back. And it's like little kids, man. We're like a bunch of little kids. It was a great time. I actually managed Cupid Mikey Shoop once again, and he wrestled Patrick Abbott. And they had a fantastic match. I was really, really happy with what those guys did, and I was happy to be a part of it. Kimmy also had a great match with a fellow. I honestly can't think of the guy's name right now, but she's wrestled him twice now in Fist Combat, and he does an Andy Kaufman. Oh, excuse me. Oh, heartburn. Too much pizza lately, let me tell you. This guy does an Andy Kaufman gimmick, and Kimmy and him had some pretty good chemistry. They had some pretty good matches. And then we were scheduled to go back down there on November 11th, 11/11, Make-A-Wish, right? We're all scheduled to be back down there. And Shoop and Kimmy were violently ill and contagious with strep throat. So, day of. Actually, night before, but I, for some reason, thought that they were going to magically heal overnight. So, of course, Last Minute Jones, to steal a gimmick from the Taz show. It's not a hack alert if I admit it. But it's literally last minute. I have to tell Mikey the situation. And then, here's the funny story. So I'm a little flustered and frustrated, but I still want to try to make the event. I still have Pat, and I still maybe can grab some guys. I don't want to leave Mikey hanging. He's got 4 talents that are supposed to be there, and they're, so I was doing my absolute best to still make the trip. But then Patrick Abbott, little P Daddy. I look forward to having him on the show down the line, maybe, if he's lucky. But he, I guess, had a babysitting issue come up, and he had to take care of some kids. And, that is the right thing to do. You're supposed to take care of kids, right? That's what they say. But it was just a frustrating situation to have my whole crew basically unable to make it last minute, and I hate doing that. I've maybe canceled on 2 shows, 3 shows due to travel issues in the past, and, this was... actually a travel issue as well, because our driver, Kalo, Dano, he freaking flaked too. I mean, he lost his car to his mom or something. I don't know. I hope everyone's cool with me being so open with you guys about this story, but it was just funny because in a matter of 25 minutes, my entire crew was all of a sudden unable to make the trip. And again, no ill feelings. I mean, it's not like we were scheduled to wrestle the promoter and one of the top baby faces on the show or anything like that for a championship opportunity. Cupid Mikey Shoop, you son of a bitch. No, people get sick, man. It happens, and Mikey was very understanding, and I really appreciate that. And that's why I come out here and I'm open, guys. This is just how I am in life. I'm open about the situations that I deal with. So that was unfortunate, and my apologies to everyone at Fist Combat for myself, Kimmy, Pat, and Shoop, for all of us. We're all very sorry that we could not be there in Watsonville. But we will be back at Fist Combat, and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. But before I talk about Fist Combat some more, I wanted to talk about Golden State Wrestling All-Stars. Now, they have an event going on this Saturday, December 3rd. It's going on at the Cameron Park Community Center in Cameron Park, California. The address is 2502 Country Club Drive. Once again, that's in Cameron Park, California. Zip code 95682. Gotta throw that zip code at you. And, of course, they're on Facebook, facebook.com /GWA1 Wrestling, the Golden State Wrestling All-Stars. I'm not familiar with these guys. I don't know if this is their first show or if they've done some shows. To be honest, I'm basically going to be there. I believe I'm going to be doing live commentary. Also on the show, Will Roberts, JJ King, Kimmy, Sean Gunn, and looks like Sin Bodie. who was Kazarni in WWE. He's going to be there. And, and also Rick Luxury is going to be there. So, I mean, it's going to be a pretty darn good show, I can imagine. I'm excited to do commentary. It's not my first time doing commentary, but it's my first time doing live commentary in the sense where I believe everybody in the building is going to be able to hear my commentary live over the loudspeaker, which is what, AJ Kirsch, Broseph Joe Brody does for Hood Slam. And it's a really, unique thing. Not a lot of promotions do that. So I'm looking forward to that. And I thank Sean Gunn for contacting me and for the interest on behalf of everybody at Golden State Wrestling All-Stars. I very much look forward to working with you guys and doing the absolute best damn job I can do. So that's going on this Saturday. Show starts at 6 o'clock. And it looks like front row's $15. General admission's only 10 and kids are only 5. So, check that out. If you're near Cameron Park or if you want to make a trip and see some wrestling, then, come out there and do it. And also, Fist Combat, guys. Myself, Uncle, my character in Fist Combat is Uncle Love Mitchy Valentine, and it's a character that I'm really, really enjoying. I'm learning a lot about the character as well as I move forward with the character. But what I like is, I've got my nephew, Cupid Mikey Shoop, and he's the talent. He's the guy in the ring getting it done. I'm just, his supporter, basically. And we're having a great time. And I encourage you guys, to come check us out in Watsonville. We're going to be at the Appleton Grill on December 9th, and that's a Friday. And the Appleton Grill in Watsonville, that's where we were scheduled to be on 11/11, but unfortunately we were unable to make it. We're going to be there on December 9th. It's going to be Cupid Mikey Shoop with Uncle Love Mitchy Valentine, and we're going to be wrestling Christian Crusader, who I'm not familiar with. So it should be fun, should be interesting. Also that night, there's going to be semifinals for the Fist Combat Championship Tournament. Carl Fredericks is going to be wrestling R2 Cool, and Seabass is going to be wrestling Kakameng. Kimmy will also be in action, and she'll be wrestling, it looks like, Devi or Devi King, and she's from Atlanta, so that's exciting for Kimmy. And looks like Steiker from RWF, who is a stud. I've seen him a handful of times over the years, and he's really starting to come into his own. He'll also be at Fist Combat on December 9th in Watsonville at the Appleton Grill, guys. So, hey, I'm back at it. I've got a couple things going on in December. I hope to have a little bit more going on in December. December is my birthday month. I will be 29 years old on December 17th. And there's some shows going on that day, and I'd love more than anything else in my life to be able to perform on my 29th birthday. So I really hope that happens. I'm really, really hoping for that. I'm praying for that. And if everything aligns correctly, I don't see why that's, not going to happen, because, I'll just leave it at that. Just going to stay positive. And again, thank you for listening to the show, because it means a lot. It means a lot that you listen, that you give it a click, as I always say, and that you give it a share. You tell your friends about this show, because what this is, it's a YouTube show. I get it. It's not on the radio. It's not on your TV. It's not hard to find. YouTube.com/The Mitch Valentine. You can watch old matches I've had, promos I've done. There's musical performances, there's stand-up comedy performances, and there's every episode of Mitch Please. And, again, I love this show. I love doing this show, and I appreciate everybody that listens. So, right now, as we talked about earlier, Hank Duke has a special song that he wants to sing for you. So, Hank Duke, my friend, take us out.
How y'all doing? This song is called The Dust, and it's about getting up when life knocks you down and blows a bunch of dust in your face. You gotta say, I love that dust. I want it in my mouth. She left me in the desert. The wheels spun out on her Camaro, and she left me in her dust. I guess I must love it, 'cause I'm always covered in it. As she drove away, she threw my slippers out the window. But I won't be needing those where I'm gone. I'm going anywhere the wind blows, and where the wind blows, that's where the dust goes. But I guess it ain't so bad at all. Talking about the dust, baby, I guess I must love it. Talking about the motherfucking dust, baby, I guess I must love it. I said, you gotta pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over